new
They're doing a new
DLC.
expansion.
All
Weapons,
right.
melee weapons.
All
Oh,
of
shit.
it. Wait, is there another expansion for Mechwarrior 5?
Melee
They're
weapons.
adding more melee
Oh,
weapons.
so I really wanted them to do like
Swords.
an official clan expansion. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know there's a bunch of like mods, but I don't know.
The license is going back to Catalyst. So another company's probably going to take it. Piranha's
Yeah.
is probably going to be Piranha's
6,
last.
maybe.
Or just like, since what they usually do is do a dual release. So you'll get a Mechwarrior 5, which is your story, and then Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries, which is your do a career mode, make money, get kill people, make money for it.
Yeah.
So maybe another company will grab it and do Mechwarrior 5, because I think that was the plan, to do a separate game with Clan Invasion. But this time,
love the clan invasion, because like I love Mechwarrior 4. Because it had all the clan mechs in it. It was just a fun game. But I digress. Well, welcome everyone to session 4 of Mechwarrior Destiny, Salvaged Destiny, and Mechwarrior Destiny Actual Play. I am Dare Wolf, the Game Master, and joining me today are 4 of my friends, whom I've convinced to pretend to be giant robot pilots. Well, they're not giant, the robots are giant, but I digress. With that being said, we're going to have everyone introduce themselves, their characters real quick, and then we're going to have a session intro from none other than Anders, who's playing Lawrence. But Anders, why don't you take it away and introduce yourself? We'll go from left to right, and then we'll get this party on the party started, as it were.
Yeah, I'm Anders. I am a pretty big nerd guy, like Mass Effect, like Star Wars, and basic bitch nerd stuff. But I'm playing Lawrence, a member of the Federated Commonwealth. Decent mech warrior. Not a good technologist. Also good at the ambush. That's about it.
The old 23 Skidoo.
Yep.
I like it. Willow.
Hey, I am Strom. You can find me at Strom_plays in all of the things. I'll be playing Willow, who is a kind of a charismatic, kind of an asshole. He's hard to like, easy to hate.
Cyprian. Did Steve freeze again? Oh, Steve's been freezing up. I think he's having some internet issues. Steve, you with us? There it is.
There he is.
There he is.
Back again.
All right.
No, gone.
Nope, you're here. We can hear you.
No, okay. I'm Steve. My internet is playing up because it's coming all the way from America to the UK.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've been playing Cyprian Devon, who is the opposite of Lawrence. He is very much the tech and very not good with mech piloting.
He's doing his best.
Hopefully, between two people, they make the ultimate mech warrior.
I think so.
Or at least a competent one.
What if we combine them?
We'll do the. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in 5 years, but we'll do the fusion dance. Yeah.
You have a half an hour, and then after a half an hour, they split apart, and there's no rumble seats. So they're just like, trying.
And Aaron.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Aaron. I'm playing Callum Van Buren, War Orphan from the Free Rosselhag Republic, and as it's shaken out over the past couple of sessions, seems to be is it Delta Company A's forward scout.
Yeah. I like it. And as previously stated, I am Darewolf, the Game Master. I play a series of NPCs and the bad guys. Sometimes the good guys. Mostly the bad guys, but I digress. Anders, why don't you go ahead and take it away with your recap/session intro.
All right. Lawrence sat back, watching the Valkyrie being refitted. The pulse laser now sat on the right arm, while the chunky missile pod was removed, 2 medium lasers filling the void. Dina managed to find more heat sinks to keep the mech cool and a bit more armor to protect it. Lawrence was happy to be working with a good mech tech, to have found a good mech tech to work with. He knew nothing about how they worked. The most advanced thing he could do was turn the startup key. Everything after that was easy. Strategy, positioning, battle. That he was good at. Technology, less so. Politics, even less. He looked up to see the sunburst and gauntlet crest of the Federated Commonwealth. Lawrence thought about what was going to happen in the future. Both of his parents were in Davian space, but his mother was still Lyran military, the Commodore of the 10th Lyran Regulars. Catherine Steiner Davian's leadership threatened to split the kingdom apart. And Duke Dressari seemed to only be stoking the flames, even if he was in the moral right. Lawrence suspected that the bombing at the officers' club was just the start. His reverie was disrupted when he heard Dina start cursing from the bowels of the Valkyrie and moved to help her. Whatever was going to happen, he had a mission to do.
Absolutely fantastic, Anders. That was wonderful. You may have an extra edge for that amazing session intro. That was great, dude. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Very, very, very good. Do you do writing? Because that was great, man. That was really good, man. Like, I love that because I got to see a side of you I wasn't aware existed. So well done, and thank you. I look forward to other session intros from you. Everyone else, you've got your work cut out for you. But we're going to go ahead and open our scene. As stated in the session intro that I had posted, you have been tasked with going to investigate the source of this signal that Cyprian had picked up from that phone. It was a number of clicks away from Delta Company's base, and it's going to take you, or would have taken you, about 3 or 4 hours at pretty much maximum speed and your light max to get there. At this point, you're about 20 minutes out from the location of the signal. What's slightly disturbing is that as you've been progressing forward and moving and moving and moving, you've noticed that your sensors have started to act up a little bit. There's been a little bit of interference. You're not sure if it's just the area in which you're located or if someone actually does have some sort of signal jammer. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to move you guys over to a quick little map here. I'm going to have you guys zoom in right over yonder. And as you are moving in, I'd like you to position yourselves as you see fit. How would you have positioned yourselves coming into this area?
I can, unless anybody has any objections, I think Callum will be out in front running center sweeps.
Absolutely. I think I'll be kind of lagging behind a little bit, sticking more to cover in the Valkyrie.
And then Willow also, Penelope is a solid mid-range mech, no real long range.
Thinking back to the briefing that you had right before you were sent out by the good sergeant. The sergeant had made it very clear. Your mission was to investigate the location of the signal, find out who the hell these bastards were, what they were up to, and after you did so, put 2 bullets into each of their heads. There was no prisoners. There was no parlay. It was find out who they were working for, and then end them. He was very clear about that. The sound of your mechs, the engines, revving, that heat, even though you're not firing your weapons, you can feel that heat inside. You feel the coolant inside of your mech suits, your Mechwarrior suits. And you can hear the crunch of trees, the ground below. You can see the little plumes of dirt picking up. And as you get closer and closer, you see that there's this small little kind of stream or river. It appears to be like an underground water, like some sort of water source. You can see there's a little bit of discoloration right up in front of you. And actually, the Harrier, you would see this up in front. But as you get to that point, you notice that your sensors are not acting normally. You look at that sensor, and it's kind of doing like a screen tearing thing. Like it's, and you think for a moment, Callum, that you pick something up, maybe, a mile, kilometer up in front of you. You think you pick something up, but then again, the sensors are acting weird. I'd like you to go ahead and make a mech piloting check here. I'm going to go ahead and actually roll some difficulty here for you. Let's see if you can maybe beat this. Terrible rolls.
All right. Would Sixth Sense come into play here?
Absolutely.
Would give me
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh wait, that's on a perception test, not an actual piloting test. So we'll just roll the piloting test flat.
Okay.
Let's see here. Check, and then we've got mech piloting.
11. So as you bring the mech You're like, you're charging forward. Actually, you tell me, are you moving quickly forward? Have you slowed down as you've gotten close to the signal? Go ahead and tell me exactly how you're approaching.
Well, I think that, they'd get here probably as fast as they could. So they'd probably be at close to full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we're nearing the objective, Callum's going to take a much slower, more methodical pace.
Mm-hmm.
Still out ahead,
Mm-hmm.
but sort of sweeping, back and forth, almost like if anybody's ever seen like somebody on horseback do like a cattle drive where you just sweep back and forth
Mm-hmm.
Along the back of whatever it is. He's just trying to get the best possible picture.
Okay.
And he doesn't want to expose himself until he has at least some idea of what's going on.
So as you're doing that and you're pivoting back and forth, you pick up two things. The first thing you pick up is, just for a moment, you get a blip, target identified. The computer actually comes on. It looks like it's an urban mech, but then it disappears. Second thing you notice is this little pathway right off to your left-hand side. There's a little bit of a clunky trees there. Mm-hmm. You notice as you're looking out the cockpit through the window of the mech, you notice that the ground right there appears to have been disturbed, almost like it was dug up and then quickly replaced with fresh soil. But it's subtle, but because of that sixth sense, because of that piloting check, you notice it. You're not sure what happened there, what's going on, but something doesn't look right.
Yeah, Callum's gonna. I assume we're on like an encrypted, encrypted channel. Yeah, so everybody else will hear Callum come through their headset. Everybody hold possible minefield.
Over the channel, you hear a gruff sounding voice. This is comms open, wide comms. Unidentified battle mechs. Return to where you came from. This area is off limits. Comply and acknowledge.
So who wants to tell him that he's a right bastard and we're not going to listen to him?
Lawrence will flip his switch over to open channel. You are a bastard, and we're not listening to you.
With the "you are a bastard, and we're not listening to you," each and every one of you would hear this aggressive and you would recognize the sound of that as an AC-10, maybe even an AC-20 round going right through the center of your formation. It goes wide, but you see the tiny explosion from behind you. And maneuvering out from behind, what you see is a couple of small mobile buildings that have been deployed in this area. You see two urban mechs. Simultaneously, you hear the sound of VTOLs starting to lift up and off the ground and make their ways towards you. And with that, my friends, we're going to go ahead and roll initiative. Now, the other thing I want to point out to you all during this combat is that your sensors are currently being, for lack of a better word, they're currently being jammed. All right? So what you're going to want to do is I'm going to actually point out where the location of this jammer is. And all right, so on the top here, and I'm going to give you control of this so you guys can see it. And I'm going to make that color a little bit different. That is going to be orange, 0. So over on the other side of the battle map, right there, you guys can just see over in the corner, there is a jamming tower on the top of this mobile building. What that's going to mean is, as of right now, until that is destroyed, you'll be taking a -2 to any attacks, so mech piloting or mech gunnery checks, excuse me. So it's a little bit difficult to target these enemy vehicles at this time. But with that being said, let's make sure everybody's in the initiative, and then I'm going to get the bad guys in there, and we'll get this started. Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually cocked up my initiative again. I keep forgetting I've got modifiers to it. Okay. But there we go.
You can go ahead and actually update it manually.
I did. Yeah, I actually did that. I realized I could.
Sorry, I already forgot. Is it reflex plus modifiers or reflex? Okay.
Reflex plus a d6, yep.
Yeah, plus any
Gotcha.
modifiers you've got.
Yep. All right, so that's just 4 for me.
Lawrence, you're not supposed to actually tell them that he's a bastard and you're not going to listen to him. I was being facetious.
I felt it was fitting.
All right, now I'd like and now it's not perception. Callum, remind me here. If I just want you guys to try to notice something, that would be a... What's the best roll for that?
There is a... Hang on, I'll get you the page citation.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember how that works.
So on page 33,
Mm-hmm.
we talk about perception tests.
Mm-hmm. I don't have the book open, candidly speaking.
Okay. Well,
It's with the perception skill.
Excellent.
Indeed, it is.
Does anyone... So anybody that has perception skill, you can go ahead and make that check. I want to see if you guys notice something here.
I do not have that skill.
Nope. Not a good one.
Oh, unlikely.
Oh, boy.
Unlikely.
What is... What is it intelligence for perception?
I would say yes. Intelligence, yep.
I mean, with a DC of 19, that's not going to be possible for anybody who's just rolling.
Yeah,
just rolling perception.
At this stage, I think we can't even afford
I don't think.
Okay. With that being said, first up in the initiative is the main man, the myth, the legend himself, the Stinger. What do you want to do?
I wasn't expecting to roll that high on initiative, so. Did we say that it was around here? Or
yes, I'll go ahead and mark on the map where you've noticed this. Right? That purple is way too hard to see. Let me make it red. So here, and here's where you notice the uneven dirt.
Can you mark the tower again, the jamming tower?
Absolutely. I'm going to mark it with a big red X. That's where the jamming tower is.
Okay.
And just in terms of direction of where the AC-10 round came from, presumably sort of straight line from around there.
Right there. Correct.
And are these two appearing on our... when we're being jammed, so not appearing on our sensors?
You can see them. It's just the actual in-game effect is you're taking a -2 to any mech gunnery checks right now until that tower is destroyed.
Okay, so I think I'm going to position myself sort of up here and avoid that minefield, but it also... Is there anything like height advantage for being up there?
Not really.
Okay.
But, you know, if you want to argue for something, I'm pretty open to it.
Okay, so I'm going to jump jet myself up to here.
Beautiful.
What I'm assuming are planes at the back. Would we be able to see those?
Yep, those have lifted off the ground already. Correct. Yep.
Okay, fine. So what I want to do is effectively hold until they get... So at the moment they'll be 11. So they're still at medium range. So I want to effectively hold and try and sort of target this front mech to see if it's going to move, and as soon as
it moves into range, you want to take a shot at it.
Yeah, because at the moment it's like a way at like extended
upper limit,
medium range.
Yeah. So you're just going to position yourself, giving yourself a little bit of a height advantage. You know, with the height advantage, I would give you a +1 to your attacks from that. You know, looking down, having a little bit of a better view over everything. I think that's totally reasonable. We can make that a precedent. The Valkyrie up next.
All right. I think Lawrence is going to turn on the jets, go 1, 2, 3, hop, jump jet over the river, 5, 6, and he's going to end up there at max movement.
As you land, you look right behind you, and you realize that the uneven dirt is right behind you as well.
Then Lawrence will call that out. That, minefield placed behind me, watch out.
Alright, anything else? You're going to shoot?
Can't shoot much right now, but I'm going to hope that my sprinting will give me some advantage on dodging stuff.
I love it. This VTOL here, this Aeron, lifts off and begins to make its way in your direction. And your sensors, all of your sensors are kind of half picking these up right now. And as you get a big scan on it, you realize that these VTOLs are armed with simply one extended range large laser. And they're going to actually lance out and try to take a pot shot at the Stinger. So that guy's going to go ahead and make a quick attack roll for you. And let's do this. And that's +2. That is a 10. You're going to make a piloting check, Cyprian. You're going to make a piloting check to see if you can go ahead and not get hit by that extended range large laser.
So that's my skill check with my mech piloting.
2d6 plus your mech piloting check, yep.
And remember, because he jumped, the VTOL is going to have a -1.
Yep, okay, so you're only going for a 9. Thank you, Aaron.
No, you bet. Wouldn't
12.
matter anyway.
The extended range laser lances out, and as you land, you pivot your mech just to the side, and you watch as this blue, just hot laser lances the ground next to you, just melting the dirt and the rock to slag right next to you. And you realize if that hit your leg or your torso, probably wouldn't have felt good. And the VTOL continues to maneuver its way towards you as well. This urban mech, doing what urban mechs do best, goes boop, boop, gets to about right there, and is going to pivot, and it's going to take a quick shot with its AC-10 at the Valkyrie. And you also jump, so it's getting a -1 to its attack. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep that in here for its attack. That is an 11. 11 from the good old urban mech. It slogs forward, just pivots, and then you just see that cannon on its right arm load up and just boom. You hear that goes right by, and you watch as one of the trees behind you just explodes, and you can hear the shards of wood and dirt and just little splinters hitting the back of your mech, but no damage. Once again, over the comms, you hear that voice. Retreat, fall back. We will not hesitate to kill you. And next up is the Harrier.
Yeah, and I think so. All right, I know there's a minefield probably here, and I know they're here. Logic says there may be some floating mines in that river, unless it's moving water, in which case maybe not.
It appears to be moving.
But they do got them chains. I wouldn't
They
trust
do,
it.
yeah, you can do that.
Also, do you really? Oh wait, does the Wolfhound have jump jets, or is it
No.
just? It's just
I'm
a running
the
boy?
I'm a walkie boy. I'm a two-legged stick man. So you know what I'm gonna do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. I am going to push my mech at full throttle. And you guys sort of see as Callum pivots and shoots north, sort of moving very fast through these bushes. And we're going to end right about here.
Beautiful. Just lightning quickness.
And yeah, if I could, GM, I'm not going to attack this turn. Would I be able to make a tracking check to see if there's any of that disturbed earth up around this northern hedge?
You're looking for a DC 9.
Okay. And that's a 14.
Yep. So almost like clockwork, you see additional disturbed earth. And we get the right color. You see it here, here, and here.
Can I spend a plot point to do something?
Talk to me.
I'm going to spend a plot point and just have the Wolfhound fire its medium lasers into the ground directly in front of it to detonate those mines.
So you lance out with the medium laser, imagine, because again, it's not just a boop, it's a boop. And as you lance across the ground in those 3 hexes, you watch as it's boom, 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 and the entire ground, there's just craters, and this plume of smoke rises up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that plot point, if I may be so bold as to do so.
By all means.
Steal that. And with that being said, go ahead and actually, you might want to
sorry,
take that back to yourself. Go ahead and take that back.
Yep. Yeah, I will.
And you should be able to deal yourself from the
yep.
Perfect. Also, Willow, make sure you have at least 3 plot points as well. And everyone else should be good. So as that happens, I'm also going to give you the advantage that on your next round, as you move through it, that dirt is still falling. So anyone attacking you on the next round is going to have a -2 because you've basically got some cover, okay, moving through there as well. I think that's narratively appropriate. Anything else from the Harrier?
No, that's going to be all for... It's all for me.
All right. Another one of the VTOLs takes off, moving up relatively quickly. These things are fast, very, very fast. They've got, these like jet engines, and it just lifts up and off. They can kind of like hover in any direction. It just takes off. And the Valkyrie, you see as this one's lining up on you, good sir. It is going to go ahead and make a quick attack roll on you as well. Let's see how this goes. That is a 12! With the extended range large laser to good old Anders. Let's see what happens. That is the 14. Once again, you watch as that large laser lances out, striking the ground. You watch as the dirt itself turns to just liquid hot, almost melting to almost like magma. And as it lances behind you, it strikes one of the minefields behind you, sending this explosion. Shards of dirt and metal go flying. You hear the tink, 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 tink on the back of your mech. I'm going to have you make a quick piloting check as well again to go ahead and make sure that none of the breed damages you. DC on this is going to be pretty low, but we'll see. It's only an 8. Only an 8. You are good. So none of the shards, none of the shrapnel hits the back. No damage. You just hear that tink, 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 tink. A little bit of dirt falling behind you. You're shrouded in the dirt behind you. At the same time, you see a badger pop up on sensors for a moment. It's a small troop carrier, and it actually pivots over to this small group of buildings. And Anders, Lawrence, looking out your window of the actual like glass screen of your cockpit, you look out and you see a number of personnel, small like actual like people running out of the 3 buildings and heading towards that badger and actually starting to board it right now. Simultaneously, I'm going to have everyone at this point make another perception check, if you would be so bold.
Sorry, I think my internet dropped out when you were explaining that. So what am I rolling for that one, sorry?
Just a perception check, my friend.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, based on what?
It's just a perception. 2d6 plus
yeah,
intelligence.
Perception is a skill itself.
Yeah, if you have the skill. If not, it's just plus intelligence. DC is 9 on this. Willow got a 12.
Sure did.
9. I think everyone is succeeding. You guys notice a very, and again, your sensors are a little wonky right now. The things aren't quite working. It looks like you've got terrible screen tearing and they're coming in and out. You're seeing the enemies, but then they disappear and then you see them again and you're having a hard time targeting. But you guys all notice a rather large power signature boot up. And for a quick moment, your sensors pick up a Leopard dropship powering up as well. And I'm going to go ahead and actually reveal this to you guys. And I'm going to actually add this to the initiative as well. Boomski. Very, very low. But it is now the Javelin's turn. Good old Willow.
All right. All right, team. Whoever can get to that jamming tower quickly with the longest range, take it out as soon as possible. Lawrence, what do you see down there?
I see a troop carrier, and it seems like multiple people are getting on it. Cannot say for sure if they're troops or if they're command structure, but given that we have a lot of people attacking us, I'm guessing command structure.
Well, they're the ones we're trying to not let leave. So we need to take out that troop transport over there in the back. Willow is going to full throttle and jump jet. So when I full throttle, do I multiply my movement by 3.5?
1.5.
2.
2? Oh, by 2. Yeah, double it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, we just double it up.
Yeah, double it up.
Make the math easier.
Okay, because in the resources, you already have normal movement at 2.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can travel up to 4 hexes normally and up to 8 if you go at full throttle.
So my movement is 3, so I would be 6 hexes normally.
6 hexes normally, 12 if you push.
You can book it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna book it, and also jump, so that'll be a -2.
That's kind of scary. Like just running, just.
Yeah, and that'll generate 2 heat for you.
Sure will.
But you're hauling so much ass. You are hauling so much ass.
I'm gonna go for the jump ship. Someone take that jamming tower.
I'm on the tower.
I'll move to intercept the troop carrier.
And with that being said,
well,
go ahead.
Willow's gonna say, Lawrence and Cyprian, take out these other mechs. They're our most dangerous adversaries at the moment.
All right. So next up, this urban mech pivots around the corner and sees. Go ahead.
Can
Cyprian?
I spend? Is it a plot point or edge to act out of sequence?
Yes, you can spend a plot point to act out of sequence. You also had a ready to action. The VTOL did move closer. I don't know if you want to just take your ready to action if you want to target the VTOL, or if you're looking to do something else, then yes, that would be a plot point.
I want Cyprian to, after seeing Willow like fly straight past everybody, he's going to follow in and provide support.
I'm going to take that plot point from you. Perfect.
So what I want to do is, I can do 6 normally with jump jet. Do I travel further?
No, but it generates heat every time you use it.
Yeah.
And it gives you a passive buff to your, or a debuff to enemy attacks on you.
So what I want to do is to jump jet to here, and then target this mech who I'd already trained on previously.
Absolutely doable. Yeah.
You also get a +1 modifier to your attack roll against a specific target when you use jump jet.
Correct. It's a good deal for just 1 heat.
So I just want to target that guy who I'd already been waiting to move into range, but he didn't. So I'm just gonna follow the leader. Right. So what am I shooting for this then? So that's mech gunnery, presumably. Do I get any bonus? You said I get a bonus for
+1 for jumping.
What's your movement? Base
movement 3.
Okay, you're getting a +2 to hit him then.
So
would that just cancel with what we have from the jamming tower? Because that imposes a -2.
It would just cancel the jamming tower. Yep. So just normal base roll.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Ooh. Just goes wide. Unfortunately. Goes wide.
Is it edge that will force you to reroll?
Yes.
Can I spend my edge to force you to reroll?
Yes.
Yes, you can. If you'd like me to reroll, you absolutely can.
You rolled a 6. Very unlikely to actually Edge doesn't go back to normal for each session, or is it one edge is normal?
You go back to so every session you start with the number of edge that you have, and then at the next session you go back to the maximum number of edge you have. There are ways to get more edge, like if I deem you did something cool or epic or whatever, I can give you edge. But
at this point, whatever your edge score is the amount of edge you have.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I only have one, but Steve has 2.
Yeah. So I'll give you one of my edge points then to re-roll that.
All right. Cool. You don't give it to me. You just spend it.
Okay.
That is a 15.
It
was better.
Wow.
I'm glad I spent that edge now. Even worse shot.
All right. That urban mech is just like they're not bad. They're not bad. This one seems to be going well. The leopard dropship. You can see that the flame of its engines are starting to. It's like in a hangar bay. You can see like the heat and the dust pluming out from the doorway into this hangar. It's starting to power itself up. Next up is this Aeron. This VTOL is going to pivot into position. Is going to take a shot at the javelin with its extended range large laser. And it's going to go ahead and take a pot shot at the javelin. Now, your movement speed is 3. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So no bonuses, no minuses. It's going to go ahead and just take a quick pot shot at you. You did jump, so it's going to -1.
And I full throttled, so it's a -2.
Okay. You're looking for a 12. Make a piloting check. Let's see what happens. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, me too.
This might hurt.
Skill check. Hey.
That's 17. You are moving so fast. Once again, that large laser lances out and comes just shy of Cyprian's mech, just melting the dirt to slag. You see trees get cut in half in front of you, and that comes just short of the front of your mech, but does not hit either of you, which is great. We are now back to the top of the round with the Stinger. Go ahead, Cyprian, what do you got?
You muted.
As is tradition.
It's to mute all the swearing at this goddamn internet. What I want to do is move to. Can I get behind them? Can I run between? So there's VTOLs in the air. I want to move around it, knowing that the urbans aren't particularly great at maneuverability.
Yeah.
But, I want to run around to here and then shoot him in the back.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna give you a +1 for getting around behind him, and so that'll only give you a total of minus. Well, actually, no. So you've got 2 more movement than him. What's your speed? 3, right? Your speed 3. Yeah. Okay. So you've got 2 more movement. So you're actually getting a +1 total, even with the jamming right now to shoot this guy.
Okay, cool. So that's just +1 to my gunnery.
That is correct.
Cool.
Whoa, nice. So pivoting around, what weapons were you using as you pivoted around this guy?
Everything. 2 machine guns, medium laser.
Okay, so you have to you fire for each of your weapon groups. So what one were you shooting first?
Medium laser.
All right, go ahead and click on the hit location for mech. Torso, solid shot. How much damage is that?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, I think a medium is 2 damage.
2 damage. Yeah. All right, so it's going to plink off 2 from his torso. -2. Perfect. And is he frozen again? Oh no! Yep. Steve, return to us.
He's the thinking man.
Yes.
He's so intense right now.
He's pondering.
So intense.
He's contemplating.
Don't rush him. It's like chess.
It's like chess. He'll get back. We're going to give him a second. The battlefield seems to freeze for a moment. The sound of lasers, machine gun fire.
It's that time dilation when everything slows down.
Yeah. Oh, we lost him. I think we lost him.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He gone. We'll see if he comes back. Oh, no. Oh, he's back.
There he comes.
He's
There he
back.
comes. There he comes.
Ah, he's back.
Hey!
Ah, we got it. Woo!
God damn it.
All right, Steve, you're good, man. You're good. He's back. Woohoo! All right. Go ahead and kick it. Kick it, my friend. What else you got? You hit. You're gonna hit whatever weapon group you want to fire with.
So still with the +1.
Yep. Oops. That is a 10. All right. Machine guns do go wide. Machine guns go wide, unfortunately.
Okay.
What else you got?
That's everything.
That's everything. All right, perfect. Solid blow to his torso. The urban mech, you see its armor start to melt and literally like shed off. And you didn't pierce its center torso, but you definitely have done a considerable amount of damage to it. And it's slowly starting to turn to try and take a shot at you as well. Next up is going to be this VTOL, which pivots around and is going to try to take a pot shot at our quick javelin over there. We're going to see what happens with that. And that is an 8. That's probably going to miss.
Yes.
Not by much.
Okay.
Not by much, but it does miss. Next up is
Horseshoes
the
and
Valkyrie.
hand grenades.
All right. So I think Lawrence is gonna see that Cyprian is covering one side of the urban mech. He's gonna move up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's gonna cover the other side.
Beautiful.
Of the urban
you know,
mech.
I know this isn't Pathfinder, but I'm going to give you guys a flanking bonus because he's having trouble dodging both your attacks. You'll get a +2 to your attacks if you attack this guy. I think that's kind of cool. You're using tactics. Right. I think you should be rewarded for it.
Beautiful. So that's it's a -2, so that cancels out with the flanking. But I have 3 movement on him, right?
So you get so you got a total +2 to hit this guy.
+2, and then I'm also, so with my medium pulse lasers, gives me a +2 at close range / point blank. So
can you hit a 16 though? This urban mech is diamond. He's slow. He's just like
bobbing and weaving.
Boom, 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 boom.
Got the boxer stance on, just arms up, just weaving.
It's an urban mech, so it's basically just like that.
I think it's a 9, I believe. So. Oh shit! I'm gonna spend.
I did roll an 11 on my 2 dice. I did roll an 11 on those 2
I will
dice.
spend an 11. I will spend an edge to make you re-roll.
I love it. I love it. All right, let me go ahead and re-roll. Come on, fail. Oh, it's a 16 again. That sucks. That sucks. Oh, he's slippery. This urban mech is slippery, man. He's slippery.
Can I spend my edge to make you re-roll that?
Absolutely, I can re-roll it again. Of course.
I will do that.
Another 16.
Wow.
What the hell?
To make you shake that dice.
Are these
fucking hell?
Fire.
The same same one every fucking time.
Boom.
Is it a 1 in 12 or is it 2d6? That's 2d6. What I'm wondering.
I'm rolling 2d6. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the roll. It's the skill check roll. Yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Wow.
I'm rolling well. That's all I can say.
I'm gonna invoke something that Wolf said not last session but the session before on Friday. He said there's something wrong with this RNG. This RNG is broken. I hate it.
That's fair.
No, I'm kidding.
Next up is this guy who's gonna pivot around.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done. Oh, all right.
I have more than just my medium pulse laser.
Go for
I
it.
have 2 medium lasers.
All right.
Hit him.
So
that's only a 14 this time. My dice luck's starting to wear out.
Oh no!
Only a 7.
That's so defender wins.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
So
you watch as you are shooting. You see the urban mech, this guy is surprisingly nimble for an urban mech. Like, you see him, crouched down on the knee. Your pulse lasers go wide. You pivot up so you don't hit your friend. He then, stands back up, pivoting around. You see the mech lean back as the other fire goes away. And then as you shoot your lasers, you actually see them hit, but they glance off the armor. Reflects it off, unfortunately. But what else you got for us?
I'm going to try and just grab it and pull it and push it to the ground because I know urban mechs are not.
All right.
They're not exactly balanced craft. They're sturdy. Well, they're sturdy, but
yeah,
we'll
they're
see.
Sturdy. That's only a 12 on that one.
Which would this would be mech piloting, right?
So are you trying to do melee or what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to have my Valkyrie's left arm grab it on the autocannon and just pull it down. It's not a melee. I'm trying to knock it
that
from.
would be piloting check, right?
Okay.
I think that'd be
Yeah,
a
that would be
piloting check.
piloting.
Yeah, go for it. I think that's really dynamic, especially with him bobbing and weaving. He's a little off balance right now.
Yep.
That's success. So you're going to go ahead and grab onto the gun arm, and as he's weaving back, you actually grab onto it with your arm of your mech, and then you like wrench it forward, and he loses balance, stumbling and crashing to the ground. I'm going to also allow you to do a hit location on the right arm. What's your melee damage for your mech?
Melee is not great, but it's still 2.
All right, right arm, and that is 2 damage to the right arm. And let me just double check something here really quick. All right, that does not penetrate, but he's looking a little worse for wear. And now he's on the ground. So any attacks against that guy, he will automatically fail his piloting check. So that is a good thing. And I'm going to go ahead and actually give him a little token. Boop, he's on the ground. Next up, though, is this VTOL here who's going to pivot. Seeing you hit that guy to the ground, it's going to take a quick pot shot at you. And we're going to see what happens here. That is a 6. And that's probably going to fail.
5.
That is a 16. You're good. You're totally good. Harrier, you're up next.
All right. Once again, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, Harrier's Callum's gonna push it once again and head up here because I want to avoid that rough terrain.
Mm-hmm.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it looks like the jamming tower is in mid range.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to hit it with my 2 medium lasers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stationary target though, so do I just roll to see if I don't roll double ones?
Yeah, just don't roll double ones.
All right.
Yep.
Lock it up.
Not double ones.
That's good. That's good.
So my 2 medium lasers do 4 damage.
Okay. You watch as your medium lasers lance out, going directly towards this tower. Imagine, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
this tower looks like it's a cylinder that goes up. There's a couple of little tiny set dishes on it, and there's this kind of like soft blue glow around it. It looks like a Tesla coil of some kind. It's like sending out energy. As you hit it, there is a loud explosion, and the whole thing just goes boom, sending shards of metal and chunks of debris in all directions. As soon as that happens, you watch as your screens that have been kind of fizzing and fluttering come to full functionality. You no longer have that net -2 to your attacks, which is fantastic. And now you're picking up each and every one of these enemies super clear. And over comms, you hear, get the leadership personnel out. Get them to the leopard. Move. Like, they're not even trying to be, like sneaky about this at this point.
Cool. So this VTOL guy, I know we've got some terrain which we're blocked by line of sight if he's on the ground, but he's up.
High.
So
he's
can
up
I
high.
see him?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So he is in... he's at 5, so that's short range.
Short range, yep. Mm-hmm.
So I want to hit him with my other 2 medium lasers.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see how that goes.
I like it.
And let's see. 3, that's only a 9.
That's probably going to miss, but we're going to take a look at it. We're going to see what happens. Let me go ahead and just grab my little thing. I want to put some fire on there.
I wish...
token. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wish I could see what the actual raw rolls were.
Yeah. That's I'm gonna double check with the macro and see if there's a way for us to see that. I wish we could,
because it's hard to tell. Like, should I spend an edge because I don't really know what I rolled?
Yeah. Well, you rolled a 1 and a 3 on that one.
Okay.
6 is the first number is your bonus. The other number is the added 2d6 together.
Okay. All right.
You rolled a 1 and a 2.
Yep.
1 and a 2. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But anyway, let's see. He could do the same.
Right, I'm gonna roll his skill check here really quick. See what happens. He rolls a 9.
You know what? I can do better than that. I'm gonna edge that.
I think so.
So we'll go ahead and get rid of my edge. And let's.
That is a hit. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll vehicle hit location. HL vehicle. Right side. The right side of that vehicle. That is enough to penetrate its armor. And I need you to go ahead and roll a critical chance. That is a 3, which
not
if
a
I
crit.
remember, that's not a crit. Oh, damn.
No,
Damn.
it's 8+ on the crit.
However, that thing, you see this plume of smoke and fire shoot out of it, and it kind of veers to the left. It's starting to lose altitude. It's still up in the air, and then you watch as it starts to spin ever so slightly. And you watch as it goes, and you hear this, and it hits the ground and explodes, sending chunks and shards of metal and like VTOL bits everywhere. And you actually have knocked that one out of the sky. It is down.
Right.
It is down.
This guy right here is going to get the large laser.
Oh, that's going to be bad for him if you hit him. That is going to be bad.
All right.
Can you hit a 13, though? I don't think so. I think you're going to miss.
Nah.
There it is.
All right.
I missed.
Told you. There it is.
All right. And that's going to leave me with 1 leftover heat.
This urban mech is on the ground. Go ahead.
If I may, can I spend a plot point to act out of...
Absolutely, you can spend a plot point to act out of turn. I'd be offended if you didn't.
All right, I will spend that plot point. Which do I? To do that, do I do remove or do I do draw?
I'm gonna take it from you. So I'm gonna go over to you. I'm gonna say steal, and you're gonna accept that I'm stealing your card. I got so many plot points. I gotta start spending.
It's going away.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yep. But I will, in this, while he's struggling on the ground, I'm going to just
stomp him and give him everything.
I'm gonna first try with the medium pulse lasers, but since he's on the ground, he can't dodge, right?
That is correct.
So hit location on mech, left arm.
That is perfect. Now, did you roll? You did roll to attack, but you still have to roll to attack to make sure you don't roll
Oh,
double ones.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Your check, which is gonna be, well, doesn't really matter. You just put a 1 there. Didn't roll double ones.
All right, you're good. All right, perfect. So left arm, how much damage?
That is 4 damage for the 2 medium.
That actually does melt away and slag his armor on his left arm, and gets a little bit into the interior as well. And you should go ahead and roll a critical chance.
All right, that is an 8.
Oh, it's
that
a crit.
is a critical. Go ahead and roll on the critical damage table.
All right, which is left arm crit, right?
Should be critical damage. There should be a macro for it.
Oh yeah, sorry, but just arm crit, right?
Yes, arm crit. Yep, you got it. Yep.
Weapon destroyed.
Weapon destroyed, which that is left arm, so he didn't have a weapon. I think left arm is there's no weapon on the left arm. However, because I think it's interesting, I'm gonna have that destroy its small laser. It feels sad. It definitely feels sad. And you see this smoke and plume on that left side of it as it like just boom, and you see like the little fizz of the red, and you can see some melting like bits. It almost looks like it's weeping, like it's crying as bits of metal and slag start to drip down its front, and from inside you hear this Mechwarrior, this pilot, like you can see him through the screen, like banging on the glass, like cursing at you and giving you double bird, like. But you've got more coming, I think.
I do. I think I'll save them. I don't think I have enough heat for the medium pulse laser, so I think he will just kick him while he's down.
Oh my god.
That's rough. So, 5. See.
That's a hit.
It's an 11. Yep. Which hit location.
Yep.
Do I change it since it's down, or do I just go with just hit location?
Just go hit location. Yep.
All right.
Right arm. Uh-oh. How much damage is that?
That is 4. That goes straight.
And if I'm not mistaken, you'd already hit the right arm. That is 4 damage, bringing it to a total of 6. The right arm is destroyed. That actually sends. Let's see here. So that was 4 damage. You said 4 damage? Is that right?
Yes.
So right arm is now destroyed, and that gives 1 additional damage to the torso. Torso has not been penetrated yet, but you do get a critical chance because you did destroy the right arm. So go ahead and roll a critical chance for us, please. That is a critical that would transfer to the torso because you have destroyed the right arm. So that is fantastic. Go ahead and roll on the critical table. Gyro damaged. All right, so he's taken a -1 to all of his piloting checks. He is in a rough spot, a very, very rough spot. He also has no weapons left because you've destroyed his right arm. And what you're going to see is you're going to see on his turn, you're going to see that little pilot, that little pod shoot out and
Punch
then
out.
curve up, and he punches out and goes straight into like up, and then you see it start to slowly drop down. And I'm actually going to go ahead and mark on the map and put a little circle. If he lands like right, purple is a terrible color. Why is my base color purple? We're going to change that to red. He lands right about here. That's where he lands in his pod. And next up is going to be the Badger. And now, because you guys have given me... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to spend a plot
you
to
absolutely
go
may.
before the Badger.
You absolutely may.
All right, so you go ahead and steal that from me.
Loving it, loving it, loving it. Willow, let me go over here. Steal that card. Okay.
There you go.
I have so many plot points. I gotta start spending these things. Jeez, oh beats.
Well, you said to spend them at last session, so I'm going to start spending them. Willow is going to go here. He's going to move his 6 hexes, and then he's going to unleash hell on the leopard.
So the leopard is inside of a hangar. You actually cannot see it from that location. If that would change your decision, I'm more than happy with you changing what you do.
Yeah, I thought it was on a landing pad.
Nope, it's like inside a hangar. It's powering up right now.
Interesting. Well, in that case, Willow is not going to spend that plot point.
Okay. You want to take that plot point back? I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to give this plot point back to you. You can go ahead and take that off the map. You should be able to right-click and then take card on that plot point. Perfect. All right. In that case, then the Badger's turn. You're going to watch as this Badger
And
just...
I act out of sequence with it.
Absolutely, Cypher. That's why you get plot points. Come on. I'll get the NPC's turn eventually, but it's not right now. Yeah.
Not right now. So I just literally want to get my jump jets and hop over and plonk myself there. And then shoot directly. And I'm not targeting the thing to make it blow up. I just want to basically destroy the roadway in front of it to make it incredibly difficult for it. It has to then maneuver
for it to
around.
Like make its way away from here. Okay.
Yeah, it's got to go.
Bag.
Yeah, exactly. So, so that's just gunnery.
All right, and I'm gonna roll his piloting check. See if he can make his way around. He makes it. So you shoot. And since he was coming up next, I'm going to say that he is unable to rev it quickly enough to get past. You still melt the cement and the roadway here, but he's going to have enough speed built up, like he was already going, to get past you on that. Now you do have other attacks. You could shoot at him if you want to.
Try and take out a wheel or something.
Could try and kick it and knock it over.
That's true.
You could.
That is true. Yeah, do that.
What you could do instead of the kick attack, you can do what Lawrence did, which is the push or the knock prone.
Yep.
Which is the mech piloting test.
Yeah.
Can I just? I was gonna say, can I just like put my foot directly on top of it? Not
Piloting
like
check versus piloting check, yeah? Piloting check versus piloting check.
Ooh, this could be
Right
interesting. Could be interesting if Cyprian slips on it like a roller skate.
So, here's where we're at. It revs. You lance. It goes to go by you. You quickly lift your leg and place it right in the front. So its wheels are like... You see burning rubber. You see your foot on the front. There's just like sparks as the metal is grinding on metal, but that thing is stopped right where it's at. Right where it's at. However,
on wide comm, he's just going to go disembark the vehicle immediately, and your lives will be spared.
I'm going to spend a plot point.
Okay.
And that plot point is going to be that it's going to take a shot at you, and it's going to hit your leg because you put it right on front of its weapon, and it's impossible for it to miss. So he's going to go ahead and shoot its 3 medium lasers at your leg. And we're going to see what happens with that.
Oof.
And, all right. So that is going to be... I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm going to give you a roll, but you're going to be taking a -3 to your piloting check, all right? Because impossible, I think, would be unfair. but he's going to go ahead and he's going to take a couple pot shots at your leg. So you got a 13, you got a 12, and you got an 11. Uh-oh. Go ahead and roll 3 additional checks.
And 2 more.
So 2 more checks, excuse me. 9. Uh-oh, that's 2 hits.
Oh,
no! So as your leg hits the front, you see the 3 medium lasers lance out, each and every one of them striking your leg. That is 6 damage to your right leg. Or left leg. Was left leg that you put on it, or right leg? Which leg?
You're muted.
It's going to be his left.
Left leg.
Left leg.
That is 6 damage to your left leg. Does that destroy the leg?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So what you guys see as he runs over... Did you use your jump jets? Remind me here.
Yeah.
So he jumped over, lands. His lasers lance out, just melting the concrete. He places his foot. Simultaneously, the glow of those green medium lasers strike out, and you watch him just cut through his leg, literally shearing it in half. I'm going to go ahead and roll a quick critical chance here for you. Also a critical. Hard yikes. That's not good. Leg crit. Leg movement reduced because you lost your leg. And unfortunately, you also fall prone as well. So your mech is knocked over in this moment and your leg has been destroyed. How many pips did your right leg have? Because it did take 6 damage.
So it's got 2 armor and 1 structure.
So 3 of that damage went through to your torso as well. Just FYI.
So if the so if he's fallen, then he's got to make a piloting test to avoid pilot damage.
Yep, and you should make a piloting check. And what's the DC on that?
Do
I roll for it, or I can't remember.
Let's see. Whenever a pilot takes damage, yeah, you've got to roll, and it's an average difficulty test. So the
2d6.
2d6. Yeah.
You're good. You take no damage, but you feel it. You feel your mech lose. You can see it happen as you're looking down. You watch as your leg is sheared in half. The bottom part leans backward or forward away from you off of the front of the vehicle, and your mech starts to wobble and then falls backward onto its back. As it goes, though, you're able to brace yourself in your pilot's chair, in your chair, and actually don't take any damage. You don't knock your head or anything, but you are on the ground. And simultaneously, this thing takes off and just books it. Like, books it over to, and, like, zips all the way down that pathway, up a little ramp, and then, like, you can hear the screech of the tires as it zips around, and you watch it go right up the ramp into this leopard as it goes inside of the leopard. But next up is the javelin.
So in terms of the 3 that went through to my torso, I'm taking 2 off of armor and 1 off of structure then, yeah?
Uh-oh. Yeah. So I need to roll another critical chance then. Or no, it's only 1 critical chance per round, Aaron, or is it if it
I think it could be, but like if it transfers into the torso, it's all internal.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Right. Oh, well, yeah, I only have 2 anyway of structure.
Does that destroy his mech?
I just got to punch out.
You're gonna have to punch out, dude.
Right. So what I want to do then is, before he moves, if I know that that's going to transfer onto my internal structure, I want to just train everything and just point the guns down at the vehicle and just put something on the trigger. So it's just going to keep shooting before I punch out.
I love it. I love it.
Knowing that he's unstable and
go ahead,
is
Aaron.
about to go down.
If I could sell you on something, you can always spend plot points to make something a glancing blow, which only does 1 pip of damage. If you wanted to keep Cyprian in the fight, maybe we say it's 1 point internal.
Yeah.
We roll a crit chance, see what happens,
I'm
and
fine
then
with that. Yeah.
Oh no.
Primary weapon group destroyed on your torso. Do you have weapon group on your torso?
No, they're all armed.
Perfect. Then that's fine. And you take 1 pip of damage to your torso. So you're still in the fight. You are knocked over. You're still in the fight.
And that's structure, right?
That is structure,
Armor.
yep.
Okay.
And next up is this javelin over yonder. And you guys watch, and you can see on your sensors, you can see the lights like his leg goes from green, yellow, red, and then is blacked out, and you watch as he falls over, and you see this little zippy transport carrier just zip off, zip around the corner, and go right up the ramp into this leopard, and you watch as the leopard's landing gate just starts to like close up underneath it.
Is the building like been opened at this point? Is it
The hangar?
like opening
Hangar's
the hangar?
open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. Well, Willow is gonna do the thing that he does, which is jump and full throttle, and he's gonna land on the leopard.
So it isn't a hangar, just FYI.
Well, yeah, it's got to go up, right?
You'd have to crash. You want to land on the leopard.
Yeah.
I'd like you to roll 2d6 plus intelligence. Yeah, that's a great idea. You should totally do that.
So, no, because I asked you
Yeah.
if the hangar was open, because I assumed it was going up.
Not straight
out
up.
of the hangar.
It's like a big door. It's going to go kind of forward and then up out of the hangar. So imagine like a big garage door. Like if you see like a plane hangar, like they've got those huge garage doors, that's what I'm envisioning. And if I did a poor job of explaining that, that's on me.
Okay, that changes everything then.
Perfect.
Because that means I cannot actually do that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can crash through the ceiling if you wanted to. You're an adult. You can make your own decisions.
I can do all of that and go here.
Mm-hmm.
And just really do my best to destroy the landing gear.
You can try.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna try everything in my power to destroy
As
that
you
landing
get up close to it too, Willow, you notice that most leopards, most of these like leopard class dropships, they would have some sort of insignia on them. They would have some sort of identifying markers, what mech company, what military organization, what group they belong to. This one, nothing. Has nothing on it. It is, you can see where like it might have had symbols on it. Everything's been painted black. Like it is, they're trying to be sneaky.
All right. So, is there a like a called shot sort of system?
You can spend a plot point if you hit to determine where the hit goes. Yeah.
Well,
you can shift the hit one with a plot point. So if you hit an arm, you could be like, I want to hit like the front or the treads or whatever by spending a plot point.
Cool. What are the places you can hit on a vehicle, on an aerospace vehicle?
So the places are like the front, the sides, the rear, or like a turret if it has one.
All right. And what are the places I need to hit in order so that it doesn't take off?
I would say one of the sides. That's what we'll determine. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get.
Although you would know also, this is a leopard class dropship. They have a lot of armor. A lot of armor.
And a lot of weapons.
A lot of weapons.
Yeah. What is it, like 2 PPCs, 2 large lasers?
They are armed with 2 PPCs, 3 LRM-20s, 7 medium lasers, and 5 large lasers.
Yeah. So mean. They're so mean.
I thought this was just some sort of stupid, massive Airbus.
I mean, it is.
No, they're made.
It is,
with a bunch of guns.
Armed to the teeth. Yeah, it's armed to the
They're
teeth.
meant for hot drops.
Yeah, they're made to take a mech lance and then put them in a hot zone, drop them off, and then get out.
Take a couple pot shots while they do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that one.
They can clear their own LZ.
Okay. So then, what is the modifiers that I have to run through?
For what?
For making a ranged attack.
So you are at point blank range.
Yep, which I'm okay with. Because I have SRM 6s.
If you have combat sense, right? For gunnery, right?
I do not.
Okay. And then it is technically It's moving, like it's going, but I'm gonna give it some minuses on its piloting check because it's in a hangar and has really nowhere to go except straight. So just go ahead and roll your attack. Yeah, you take your mech gunnery, and then I'll roll its check. You're probably gonna hit it, but we never know.
First SRM.
You hit it.
And second SRM.
Second one. You miss, actually. It hits, but it glances off of its armor. So go ahead and roll a hit location on vehicle hit location. Left side. Perfect. Awesome. How much damage is that?
It is 2 plus missile, max 4.
So you're going to roll the missile damage, 0 additional damage. And what you notice is as your little SRM 6s lance out, you see the little missiles. It strikes the side. It looks like you threw glitter at it. That's what you see. It strikes the side of this Leopard class dropship. It's just like ting, 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 ting. You don't even think it pierced or really got damaged any of the armor. There's some scorch marks, but it looks like you literally like did a little pinprick to it.
Since I know it's got so much armor, but it has to take off like a normal airplane in this situation, I only need to destroy one of the wheels. And then it can't take off.
It's not wheels. It's like a hovercraft. It just can take off vertically, up, down. It's got multiple engines. I like where your mind's at, but
it probably could just crash through the hangar if it wanted to. It's
really
just deciding not to.
Yeah. But I appreciate you, man. I know where your mind's at. Anything else you've got?
No. That's it.
All right. This urban mech is going to pivot. Is going to see you in front of that dropship. And he's going to take a pot shot at you. We're going to see if he hits.
Well, it has a -2.
It does. That's a 13 to hit.
That's unfortunate.
Plus, it's if it's slower than him, it also has an additional penalty.
All of those penalties are in.
Yeah, boy.
Hey.
I am going to spend a plot point to say that it is a glancing hit. And it's going to glance, and it's going to hit your right arm. Or actually, we're going to see where it hits. We're going to see where it hits your torso. It's a glancing hit on the torso.
So that's 1 damage?
1 damage. Take that. With that being said, there's a Leopard dropship in front of you. And you see a bunch of weapons start to charge up and target you.
Yeah, boy.
And,
here we go.
We're going to see what happens. So, first time.
Can I spend a plot point to act out of initiative?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll spend a. You can take a plot point. I'm just gonna get out of the way.
I get out of the way. All right, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. All right, let me steal one of those cards. Go ahead and move yourself where you want. Okay. You watch as the Leopard dropship, its engines glowing. You see this blue kind of like flames. You see the dust and dirt just being like a cloud, this plume of smoke as it starts to take off. It is gonna take a couple of pot shots at each and every actually it's just gonna take a couple of pot shots at the guy that tried to shoot it. It's gonna shoot with it.
I think that's fair.
You know what I'm gonna have you do? I'm gonna have you roll a d4. Roll a d4 for us, Willow. 2. It's gonna shoot its LRM 20s at you. It's gonna shoot a couple of those at you. So we're gonna see what happens here. You see a couple of missiles lance off from the back of it. First attack is a 7. Second attack is a 12. Last attack is going to be a 12 as well.
All right. So
miss. That's a hit. That is a miss. So it only hits you once, which is
How much does an LRM 20 do?
It's like
a decent chunk.
It's like 3 plus mm. So
3 plus mm.
First one is going to be on your torso for 3 damage.
I think it only hit me once.
Well, it's got its MM, so I have to roll 2 of non-missile damage. So, and then 2 damage goes to your torso as well.
Okay. Can I spend a plot point to make... Is the missile damage separate from a glancing?
So right now you're taking 6 damage to your torso.
Yeah, which is way more than I have.
It is.
Actually, I have 5. It's too many.
You could spend a plot point to turn one of those into a glancing hit.
It's 4 and 2.
Correct.
So can I turn the 4 into a glancing hit?
You absolutely can.
Cool. So because that would put me still at 1.
internal armor left.
Damage. I have 2 left.
Critical chance, 8. And the torso critical, gyro damage. Your gyro is damaged. And you watch as the leopard drop ship takes off, zipping up into the atmosphere and disappearing above the clouds. However, there's still a couple of like VTOLs and stuff hanging out here as well. So this one here is going to take a pot shot at the Valkyrie. And we're going to see what happens there. That is an 11 to hit the Valkyrie. That is a 12. Hey. The lance goes wide. The stinger is up next. You're on the ground, but you can spend a movement to get up. Are you muted, Steve?
I'm here.
You're doing God's work.
I'm just considering what the hell I can actually do, apart from stand up. And so to stand up, I just need to make a piloting check.
Yep.
You need to take a plot point from me.
Did I not take a plot point from you?
No.
Oh, let me steal one. Some plot points. You are up. And you can only move at half speed, but you don't even have to move. You can just take a pot shot at that VTOL if you want.
Yeah, I think that's my
There's
best
also
option.
the other mech still up.
I'll deal with them. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah, and when the
he is in prime position for me to beat him in the back of the head.
He's going to pick up a gigantic rock and pretend it's a cue ball.
I really hope you do that.
Also, I'm sure no one noticed when the leopard flew away. Willow says, it looks like they've got away. I didn't know if anyone noticed.
Callum, Cyprian's just going to say, yeah, a little busy here. Am I getting any negatives to that?
Nope.
Or is it just my gun? Okay, cool. Ugh.
That's an 8, and let me roll their piloting check here really quick. That's a 9. Unfortunately, that does go wide. You do have your edge. You can spend your edge and re-roll your attack. You did roll a 1 and a 3 or a 2 2s, so I would probably say re-roll your attack.
Yeah.
Boom!
Oh no!
That is a 6. All right, fair enough. Next up is going to be this one.
I do have more weapons.
You do have more weapons. Go ahead and shoot. Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so excited. I just want to kill you guys. All right, this guy's going to roll his attack. It's a 9. That's a hit. What were those? What's the damage on those?
Medium laser.
How much damage?
2.
Go do a vehicle hit location. Front. So you hit the front, and you watch as the front of the vehicle, it's like turning around to face you, and you lance out and melts off the nose section. You see it go internal. Roll a critical chance. 5. Does not go critical. However, you watch as the thing, similar to what happened with Callum, starts to kind of do one of these, and then you watch it go boom and explode onto the ground. These things are like made of paper, is what you're noticing. Next up would have been that guy's turn, but he's down, and it is now the... Go ahead.
You skipped me.
Did I?
Yeah, you when you
said...
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We're going to go back to the Harrier. Skadoosh. All right, you're up next, my friend.
Yep. So, grabbing a piece of, we'll say a chunk of the urban mech off the ground,
you grab the cockpit. It's kind of rounded. You can
he's gonna something that can
death from above work.
Something that he can grab, like that's a sizable chunk. He's gonna run up, and he's going to fucking beam this other urban mech in the back of the head, with his friends, whatever.
To answer your question, Willow, I don't believe there are actual rules for death from above in Mechwarrior Destiny, but we can probably homebrew something if we want.
Aaron, you're muted if you're talking.
Oh yeah, sorry. There are rules for death from above.
There are? Okay, cool.
Yep.
I wasn't sure. We've never actually used it in our game.
Yeah,
so
we have. I used it on Anders.
Oh, you did! You did. Okay, I'll have to remind myself how that works, but yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make a piloting check, my friend.
All right. Piloting check is 5. Would I get any advantage? Oh,
you hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an additional 2 damage because you're using that thing on your above and beyond your normal damage. That'll be 4 damage, and let's see where you hit him.
Bean him in the bean.
Torso. Center torso. That does go internal. So go ahead and roll a critical chance. That is a 7. That's unfortunate. That is.
But
I
do have my other weapons.
You do have your other weapons. Go for it.
So rolling for the medium pulse laser, which is at 3, so I get +2, +2. I think I'm at +4, right, to hit him?
Yep.
All right, so that's going to be a 9.
Oh yeah. He didn't see it coming. You're pretty sure the pilot's a little dazed at this point. Like this mech is not bobbing and weaving like the other one did.
Mm-hmm. Right arm.
That is destroyed. That is destroyed. And go ahead and roll a critical chance again.
All right.
Oh, so close.
Dang it.
So close. Could spend an edge to reroll that 1.
I could spend an edge. I will spend an edge to re-roll that
roll
one.
A D6. Just roll a D6. You got to roll a 2+.
A D6.
2+. That's all you need. Yes!
Hey.
All right. Go ahead and roll a critical chance on torso.
Critical damage or critical
damage on torso.
Yep.
Engine shielding damaged. Hard yikes for him. He is having a rough time. He's getting an additional heat every round. Do you have any other weapons?
I do have my medium lasers left.
Do it.
So I'm going hog wild.
End him. I love it.
Oh, that's right. That's actually +7.
Wow, I can't roll for garbage. That is a hit again. Hit location. Right arm goes to center torso. What's the minimum damage on that?
Minimum damage is 4.
You watch as you lance to where its right arm was. The AC-10 is exploded, sending chunks and shards. You see some of the ammo inside of its right arm and the ammo supply just starting to explode. And you watch as its center torso just goes boom, setting the top of it flying off. You do not see a pilot eject. And that is slagged. Completely slagged.
After that, given that I still have a tiny wee bit of movement, he's going to turn left to where the parachuted pilot is, and he will come over on, I believe the Valkyrie has external speakers, and he will just go. I hope that came over.
It may be a little too. It may have been a little too comical, but you see a tiny little white flag appear from the cockpit of that. It's like it looks like it might be his underwear. They look slightly brown, but I digress. It is the Harrier's turn.
Cool. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna move down here, pivot to face this Aeron, and fire at it with a pair of medium lasers.
Oh boy. Oh boy, let's see what happens. I believe. Nope, that's a hit. And you watch as it just go ahead and roll hit location. Pretty sure this is gonna take him out.
Left side.
This one doesn't little down. It just explodes in the air. You see its front part of its. You see the front part go forward. The tail engine section goes back, and it just boom. Both of them explode separately.
So. I also want to sell you on something now.
I would like to be sold.
Okay. I will give you a plot point.
Go on.
To make a tracking check. I want to basically transmit the location or the heading, the vector of the Leopard to any air assets that the Duke has in the area to see if they can perhaps force a landing or destroy it.
I'll allow it.
All right.
Make a tracking check. Not going to be easy.
I wouldn't
Maybe
expect
it will
it
be
to be.
easy. Maybe it will be easy.
All
I can't
right.
roll for garbage.
Except for that mech pilot who rolled 16s for days.
Yeah, you actually get a beat on it, and you hear a couple of arrow jockeys go, acknowledged, moving into intercept. And you're not sure what's going to happen with that, but you do see a couple of aerospace fighters fly right overhead and then start to arc up in the direction of the leopard. It's like a...
And yeah, I think right at that, Callum now actually having come around sees sees Cyprian there, and he's all jacked up across the way, and he'll come over the secure channel and say, Cyprian, are you hurt?
Cyprian will respond and tell him that he's fine, but this mech is going to need a lot of attention from Mech Tech Journal.
Lawrence will amble. Can Lawrence secure the parachuted Mechwarrior like on his mech?
So that guy is, again, like literally you see like a hand come out, and it wasn't even joking. Like you see like a little like a flag on a stick. Like he ripped off a piece of his white uniform and was just like waving it like he surrenders. Okay. He is not making any aggressive movements or anything like that at this point.
All right. I will. Yeah, I'll secure him in some way, but I will go over the radio and say, that was a game try to stop that vehicle. It's unfortunate that your mech can't take much damage, but very good effort, Cyprian. He's trying to like soften the blow and encourage him.
I think because like Callum spent most of that fight behind that ridge, like, wait, what happened?
Oh, it's over?
It was very well done all around. Cyprian, that was extremely intelligent of you. Unfortunately, well, who knew that they had medium lasers? It was certainly smarter than what I did.
Your sensors, every one of your sensors start to ping. They're picking up very, very intense heat signatures coming from each and every one of the buildings in this area.
Demo charges.
Shit.
I'm going to, upon that, I'm moving away. Moving this way.
Yep. But I think definitely Callum's just going to back away. Not today, disco lady.
And what will happen is you will watch as each and every one of these locations explodes, sending shards of metal and debris. But what's interesting is you actually pick up on one of the center building, the largest of them, you pick up a heat source, but for whatever reason, it doesn't go off. Maybe the charge shorted, maybe the fuse didn't go right, but that central building remains intact after each and every one of these other buildings explodes.
Well, isn't that lucky? We
should call in EOD or someone qualified. I bet that it will go up at some point. We should get somebody to come out here and defuse it.
Oh,
I don't know how to do that.
Willow will open up a secure channel to home base and say, this is shit, I totally forgot. We're Delta Squad?
Delta Company.
Yeah, this is Delta Company Alpha. We have finished our mission. We need bomb defusal at this location, as well as someone to come through the computers and such that are here. If we can get some intelligence boys down here on that.
Over the comms, you hear Commander Veronica Stone. It's not actually Sergeant Gerard. You hear her. She's a very stern woman, very straight-laced. This is Commander Stone. Acknowledged. Were you able to take any prisoners?
We have one mech pilot, but it seems that all of the people in charge managed to get away on a Leopard.
Were you able to identify who the fuck these people are?
Unfortunately, no. The Leopard has no insignias. It powered off. We have hopefully some air assets chasing them, but if they survive, you'll have to get more info from the Flyboys.
Acknowledged. Bring the prisoner back to Delta Company base. We'll interrogate him there.
Yes, sir.
Veronica Stone out. And with that, anything else you guys would like to do in this area prior to returning to Delta Company base?
Shouldn't somebody stay here and post a guard?
I think we are staying here and posting a guard until they show up.
Yeah, I'd say we do that.
Assuming that okay, you're gonna stay here. So there is a now, if I remember correctly, you had picked up the escape pod, Lawrence. Is that correct? You're like securing it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you've got the escape pod in there. So it takes a while. It's about an hour goes by. The central building remains intact, doesn't explode. You don't pick up any weird heat signatures or anything like that. What you do pick up, though, is you see those 2 arrow jockeys come back, but you notice that one of them appears to have a damaged right wing, and is kind of listing a little bit. One of its engines appears to have been damaged. But as they fly over, they do kind of a quick little like spin to acknowledge, and then over the comms they said "Leopard destroyed. Thanks for the intel," and then they zip past as well. But yeah. A couple hour goes by. A couple of freaking what's the it's the pack rats? No.
Yep.
Pack rats come back. I almost said rat pack and then I stopped myself. Pack rats show up.
Okay.
Bomb
Sorry.
refusal squad goes in, and you guys are relieved as some of the, I guess folks better suited for this job arrive to relieve you, and you're able to return to Delta Company base at your leisure.
On the way back, Willow, through the secure channel, says, what are the odds those 3 ships actually managed to destroy the Leopard? That thing laughed at my SRMs.
Would I know what the aerospace units were that were dispatched?
Yeah. And I'm actually glad someone asked that question. Because what was dispatched? It's possible. Could have taken out a Leopard. But it's unlikely. And you can do with that information as you see fit.
Just reminded of that scene from Deep Space Nine, the reverse of it, where it's like, "You're not a Corellian freighter. Indeed, this is a code black clearance mission. Security code." And then
Garrick. Yeah.
Yep. I imagine that we're getting the other end of that now.
Because Willow actually asked that question. As you've all noticed in your training, one of Willow's deficiencies is knowing military assets. He sort of slept through that class.
That is not something that Lawrence really has struggled with.
It's possible, but what I'll have you do is I will actually have you roll. Does anyone have tactics?
Yes.
I'd like you to roll a tactics check. I'm going to set the DC as a number. DC is going to be 10 on this. DC is 10.
Can I just roll? Is that intelligence for tactics?
Just be intelligence.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Callum?
Not...
Something doesn't smell right. 2 arrow jockeys. Like, they could have, maybe. But, I mean, that was a Leopard. And, I mean, they would have had to have, like, it just doesn't seem right. And why, the hit on that one aerospace fighter, it looked almost like intentional. I don't know, man. It looks too convenient.
And I think, Callum's going to come back over the radio and say, after being with you all for these past years and watching an expert liar lie.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Please do, because it is. I'm keenly aware. My olfactories are keenly aware to the smell of bullshit. And these guys are bad at it.
And you are our best scout. Why would they come back?
I don't see it.
And tell us? There's no need to come back and tell us that it was destroyed.
Either they think we're way more stupid than we are, or they're rubbing it in our face.
Well, I'm sure they're right about Lawrence, but the rest of us, I'm not so sure.
Oh, that's uncalled for.
I don't see you with 2 kills to your mech today.
Well, that's true. Although I did end this fight with a functioning mech, so I'm already doing better than last time.
This is true.
It's all about baby steps. I have a feeling this is not.
Would we know what the insignia, like which unit they were from?
They didn't have any, I believe. They were just
the enemies.
Yeah, the aerospace fighters.
No, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, they were from one of the other military companies. Like you've got Delta Company, you've got Beta, Alpha, you've got all the different companies. They're actually from Alpha Company, which is primarily an aerospace branch of the military.
But they aren't. They aren't Palace Guard, though, right?
They are not.
this could be worse than we thought initially. Well, like I said before, if they're already bombing Palace Guard hangouts, it's as worse as it can be. We're not doing damage control here. The fire's already sprung. Well, I mean, there's not enough of us to protect the Duke and fight our militia too. I agree, but there's not much we can do otherwise. Yeah.
So in terms of those aerospace units, would we, well, presumably we'd know what their chain of command is because we're military people. Mm-hmm. Do they report to the person that came on the... They don't report to her at all? Okay.
Different branch.
We're basically, I think a good way to think of it is that we are effectively Army that is part of the Air Force. Mm-hmm. So we're under the same like broad umbrella command because we're on the same planet, but they're on a completely different offshoot. Our general could maybe talk to their colonel, but
yeah, what I was going to say is it would as we're on the way back, can we request to see? Obviously, the aerospace units have told us that they've been destroyed. I want to inquire as to what was the communication that went back through their channels across to ours.
Is Commander Stone like our direct commander?
So your direct commander is Sergeant Gerard. She's above him, so she's up the chain of command.
But she's still Palace Guard.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I think we're gonna have to have a conversation with the sergeant and maybe the commander. Let him know that there's a bit of a stink on the air.
Well, listen, if we're getting isolated as the Palace Guard, maybe somebody on the inside of the regular military who's sympathetic to us could find more information. Cyprian, do you think maybe you could talk to your dad?
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
I'm sure that the sergeant and the commander also have some contacts they can press. People they trust.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I don't really know much people outside of the Mechwarriors.
No, me either. I'm not from here.
Neither am I. And most of the people I knew, I found out went up in that bomb.
Right. Didn't you used to play in that game?
I don't know what you're talking about. Never been there in my life.
Fair enough.
I think at this point, we get this prisoner into a cell, we can conduct our interrogation, find out if he will tell us anything.
Yeah.
But we also bring this up with Stone and see if she can get either, as you guys have said, flight recorder information, helmet cams. I know those aero jocks love to put on their cameras and record their kills.
They love to show off.
Yeah,
well, they were
and a leopard is a hell of a kill to get.
And they were stupid enough to come back and make us suspicious. So they could be stupid enough to have not destroyed all of the evidence.
This interrogation has to stay in-house.
I agree. Like you said, I think the palace guard are being isolated.
Yeah. So that means...
I wonder how long it'll be until it's not safe to be on Kantaris.
5 minutes before that bomb exploded and killed all those palace guards.
You're probably right. This is a bit of a shit, isn't it?
Well,
well, nothing we can do about it now. Let's get back, put our report in, and hopefully the sergeant and commander know what to do.
Keep your sidearms loaded on your bedside tables.
I should probably get one of those. I've only got the autocannon.
I've still got the revolver. So I keep taking Willow's accent.
Very addictive, isn't it?
He's a social chameleon. That's what he is. Yeah. He's just like
but I still have the revolver. There it goes again.
Now you're Iron.
Now I'm Swedish. I'm just every time I do a European accent.
Don't worry, comrade. I have a revolver.
But yeah, I have the revolver. That's still have to clean that.
Remember, no Russian.
Mm-hmm. Snappy war.
Deutschland.
All right.
Let's get back and give our report in.
Yeah.
So you return to the base. You have to move a little bit slower because of Cyprian's mech being damaged, the one leg being mostly inoperable. You kind of got to help him limp back to the base, but you do make it. Takes you about double the time that it would have otherwise. However, you do manage to tread yourself back, and when you return, you see Dina. She's like, you got a rag. She's like wiping off her hands. She sees the first mech come in. Second mech. So first mech is Callum. Second mech is Willow. Third mech.
Actually, I would say that Callum would come in last, as he would be rear guard.
Okay. As Cyprian's mech comes in, you watch her face. She's like, nice. And then you see her face just melt. And even from inside the cockpit, you can hear her screaming, Cyprian. It is like a banshee's wail. And it's just, what have you done to my beautiful, perfect mech, you son of a bitch? I will end you, you son. What the fuck? It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
Does the Stinger have external speakers?
A couple of the other mech techs move over. In fact, Richie even goes over and he's like, yeah, you can see him, and Callum, he's been asking this question for weeks. You can see him be like, hey, Dina, have you ever thought about why a wolfhound is called a wolfhound? And just trying to distract her. And
from outside the cockpit, you could hear from the wolfhound of, ah!
Does the Stinger have speakers on it?
It does. I'm gonna say it does.
Cyprian's just gonna say, Dina, get your head in the game, and slowly limp into the mech bay.
I like it.
And
I like it.
Jump out and immediately just start looking at the damage that is.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's gonna take some time to repair it. At least a week or so. It's gonna take some time. But as you all actually head out to the floor, moving over to you, you see Tom, and he actually walks over and he's extending his hand to you, Cyprian, and he just extends it, and he just, before you can even say anything, he just says, "Thank you. I don't know what you said to him, but thank you, Cyprian."
Cyprian's going to sort of gloss over that, but like with a little smile in the corner of his mouth, and his heart swells with pride. He's just going to go and get me the schematics, get the instruction manuals, get every bit of paperwork that you can find on this mech, we need to get it back up in working order as quickly as possible.
Aye, sir. Yeah. Consider it done. And he heads off in that direction. A couple of military, like just guards and whatnot, have moved over to your mech, Lawrence, and being pulled down from the mech is a red-haired, red-bearded gentleman. Looks to be maybe late 30s, early 40s. He's rough. He's got that look of being a mech pilot. He is quickly handcuffed. They actually, bring him down. He's not resisting. He's not fighting. But you notice he is wearing unmarked but identifiable military fatigues. That's what he's wearing. They're unmarked. There's no markings. You can see where there was a patch. It's been ripped off. But he looks like a military guy. And he's not saying anything.
Okay. Would I be able to tell what cut of military this is? What is he? Draconis Combine? Is he Davian? Is he Lyran? Would I be able to tell that?
You know what? Yes. Steiner.
So, given my Lawrence is also technically from the Lyran Commonwealth, he will start speaking to him in German. Come with me. You're being taken to get interrogated.
Kein Problem.
And he will, escort him to a small cellular room with a guard as well to watch over him.
Mm-hmm.
But I will stay in the room with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we will get that interrogation fired up.
Boy, will we ever?
I am just Mr. Interrogation according to Mechwarrior Destiny campaigns.
This gentleman, he doesn't resist. He doesn't argue. He is lockstep and key, does exactly what he's told, moves, makes no aggressive motions. He seems resigned to his lot in life. He seems resigned to what has transpired. In fact, you're almost picking up that he seems not to be worried in this moment. He seems completely unfazed by what's happening. Almost as though this entire fanfare is just that fanfare, almost a joke. He doesn't say anything, but his face says that this is almost comical.
Willow will turn to Callum and say, "Don't like that. You should, no one should be that calm under this much pressure."
Well, there are ways to make him uncalm.
Yes, and I think he's been around the block long enough to know that, which is why
Also,
it makes it a problem that he's so calm right now.
well, he just may not understand how far that I'm willing to go. And if he doesn't identify a unit that he's from, he doesn't get the protection of the Ares Convention. And I can do what the fuck I want with him.
I always thought that the intelligence boys would come in and interrogate him. Normally, isn't that how it works? We usually don't get the good stuff on our ourselves, unfortunately.
Interrupting you from behind, the three of you with me now. It's Sergeant Gerard.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
And yes, he goes, Cyprian, that includes you. Come on.
Steve is both muted and frozen.
No,
There he is.
He's back.
There he
Cyprian,
is, drinking.
you too, with me. He's going to take you back to the storage room. And as he moves in, he waits for each and every one of you to move into the storage room. And as it does so, he then closes the door and bolts it shut, spinning back to you. No, you're not here, Lawrence.
Oh, I'm not.
You were off with your prisoner.
Yeah,
Okay.
you spoke Steiner language. You're not
Spoke
getting
Steiner
here.
language.
Get out of here.
Yeah. The
Probably in on it.
sergeant. The sergeant has this again, he's a very gregarious man. He's generally very, you know, after everything that happened with the officers' club being destroyed, multitude of his friends being killed, old comrades, war buddies, etc. He's been shaken. And he still looks shaken in this moment, but it's more than that. He looks scared. You've never known Sergeant Gerard to show any modicum of fear. He looks to each and every one of you. He stutters over his words at first. Tell me exactly what happened out there. Exactly what happened. I don't want to hear it from anyone else other than you.
And Willow.
I think Cyprian would jump in because he's listened to his dad replaying, like, talking to him in military language, and replaying sort of battles and stuff like that he's had in his history. So he's going to go through in like proper military fashion of, deployed here, mech moved to this location, and give him coordinates, and then target engaged at this time, and give him timestamps of every weapon discharge, of like proper military running through every single aspect that happened.
This dude.
Yeah.
Love this dude.
If anyone notices, Willow is standing there with his mouth slightly open in shock.
Markings, man. I need to know, what were their markings?
None.
Unmarked. I know what they were doing.
Sir, regular military assets, I believe, lied to us about engaging the Leopard.
What branch?
Air Force.
What specific branch? Alpha, Beta?
Alpha.
He slams his fist into the door. There's a loud clang. The door doesn't dent, but you can see him recoil from the pain of it. Damn it. Damn it! We're fucked. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked. This is not good. It runs deeper than I thought. This is not good at all. The damn Duke in his fucking mouth. He's doomed us all. He's literally doomed us all, and he actually starts to break. He starts to go a little manic. He starts to mutter about how this is the end of everything, how if the Duke could have only just kept his mouth shut. He starts to say, she's not going to let this stand. She's not going to let this stand. I have no idea how much time we have left. How much time do we have left?
Sir, may I speak freely, sir?
He's completely not even listening to you anymore.
Willow is going to grab onto his shoulder, say, sir, stay with us. We're Palace Guard. Our job is to make sure that the Duke doesn't die, no matter his dumb mouth.
He grabs onto your shoulder, steadying himself. You don't understand, Willow. Very soon, there's not even going to be a Duke. It's going to be every man for himself. Every man for himself.
Well,
and he kind of pats your cheek, but go ahead.
Sir, respectfully, until that point, we have a job to do.
I'm going to have you make a streetwise check.
Not negotiation?
No, or negotiation, either one. Whichever one's better.
I'll take negotiation.
He's a little shaken. Oh, that was way too many dice. It wasn't supposed to be 6. It's a 12. You beat the DC. Perfect. Now the 23. He steadies himself. You see his top part of his jacket was unbuttoned. He rebuttons it, kind of fixes his fatigues, and straightens up a little bit. I need all three of you to do a full inventory of everything we have on base. Willow, I've made a request for what you asked for. It should go through. I need each and every one of you to be ready to... I just need each and every one of you to be ready in the next 3 days. Every single round we have, everything on base. I need a full list, full inventory. Just... I need to make sure we're ready.
Sir, what about Lawrence?
At the mention of Lawrence, he looks at the three of you. I'm not sure if he's been compromised.
Sir, respectfully, I don't know if he's smart enough to be compromised.
Again.
Listen, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here.
Sir, I don't think you have to worry about it. They shot at him same as the rest of us.
Did they hit
I don't know if
him?
Lawrence did any damage. Did he take any damage?
Well, they shot at him, but neither did I. Doesn't mean I'm a traitor. I'm not.
Did they hit him?
Well, no, sir, but they didn't hit me either.
Did he hit them?
He hit them a lot.
Oh, yeah. He did this one thing. Anyway.
Cyprian's going to sort of step forward and not be at like full attention, but definitely not like at ease, and we'll say something along the lines of, respectfully, sir, a moment ago you were talking about abandoning your post and every man for himself. I fought in combat with Lawrence, and therefore can only assume that he is not compromised until proven otherwise.
Don't worry, sir. We, as long as the Duke is alive, we're Palace Guard. We protect the Duke. And in the worst case scenario, where we are still alive and the Duke is not, and things do get as bad as you say, then, we won't ever forget where we came from and who our commanding officer is, and you don't have to worry about the four of us.
He actually reaches out, grabbing through the shoulders, both Cyprian as well as Callum, kind of brings you all a little closer. No matter what happens, stay true to each other. You may be all that you have. I need to head to the capital. I need to meet with the Duke, as well as Commander Veronica. You have your orders.
Will puts his hand on the sergeant's shoulders. Stay safe.
Go armed.
Always. He is going to head out, quickly makes his way towards the front, meets with the mech techs for a second. You can see him giving orders to get these mechs up and running ASAP. And then he's going to head out, grabs a couple military, guard soldiers, hops into a pack rat, there it is, and then heads off towards the capital. But I'd like to pivot over to the interrogation room, where you guys are, interrogating. Lawrence, does anybody else want to join in with the interrogation?
I don't know if I would join in, but I would like to be present.
Yeah, you can be present.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So would Willow. Willow doesn't like the cut of this guy's jib.
Let's move into this kind of bigger room, just so you get a little extra space. It's just another storage area, and you can set him down, and you can start talking to him. And he's just sitting there, kind of a smug look on his face. He's handcuffed, and he's just sitting there.
I think we've got another tough guy.
Yeah. Name, rank, serial number.
And Lawrence, speaking once again in German, will go, "Who sent you?"
The real question you should be asking is why was I sent?
Continuing in English for the comfort of his friends, he will go, I can assume why you were sent here. The Duke, he has spoken out against the Archon Catherine for her actions, her tyranny in the Lyran space, and you have been sent here to shepherd in whatever change of guard the Lyrans want. So are you Loki? Are you
are children playing soldier. Und it is comical to watch.
Should I do the
Was
thing that we
it
did last time?
comical when I ripped your arm off of your mech and then bashed your friend's head in with it? Was that very comical?
Do you think that
7 of your men are dead. You have been left alive and in our custody. As far as command knows, we can dispose of you.
acceptable losses? And are you prepared to die?
All right, then tell us, confirm for us what we already know. Tell us who sent you, and I promise you'll get one in the back of the head. If you don't, then you will spend the last and longest moments of your life in agony.
Negotiations.
I don't have that.
Or intimidate, whatever you have.
I'm pretty sure I don't have that either.
Go for it.
Oh, fuck me. Fuck me.
Somehow that sounds impossible to do.
That's, I mean, I'm not going to be able to do that. I mean, I
We are
can't.
dealing with a rough sumbitch.
You know what?
Can't-
I'll give
can't
you a
beat that roll.
+2 because you do have them outnumbered.
Still can't beat it.
Fair enough.
Most I can get is a 15. So
You know what, if you roll a
can't.
15,
oh,
I'll
you know
give it
what?
to you.
But if I roll boxcars, I could roll boxcars.
You could roll back cards.
So you know what? Let me just roll the flat, and we'll see if it's 12. If it's 12, then
Fair enough.
we're good. No.
Nope. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. So, he looks at you. Here is my counter offer. Let me go.
No.
And I will make sure that the 4 of you and your little playmates aren't eradicated when the full force of my commander's army makes planetfall.
It's a tempting offer.
It's not very tempting for me, I'll be honest.
Oh, it's
In
just
German, he speaks to you. And he says to you, Lawrence, don't be a fool. You know who you should side with. You know the right choice. Gun these 2 down and join me.
Lawrence will, at this point, is he secured to a chair?
Yeah, he's down. He's on a chair. He's secured. Yeah,
He will kick his chair over
I like it.
and lean down to him and say, you don't, in German, will say, you don't know a single thing about me. I am serving in the palace guard of Kentaris 4. My allegiance is to my lancemates, to my crewmates, and to my command. As a Lyran, you should remember that.
He coughs, spitting up. You see the back of his head strikes the floor hard. There's actually a little bit of blood. You've cracked his skull. And his eyes blink, getting a little glossy in this moment. And that stone-cold exterior breaks for a second. And he lets out something that you don't think he intended. In a week's time, there won't be a command. In a week's time, there won't be a duke. And that, my friends, and I'm going to cut you off here. That's where we're going to end session 4 of Mechwarrior Destiny, Salvaged Destiny.
Nice.
Oh, man. Good session, everybody. Great role-playing.
great session.
Fantastic.
Great role-playing. Wonderful fight. Really enjoyed that. Super impressed with everybody. One thing you've mentioned, Willow, is that occasionally I will press things forward, and I was trying to give you a lot of time on the way back, to where y'all got to say everything you wanted to say, even though there were a couple of pauses there. And hopefully you're seeing that I'm not trying to press stuff forward. I really want to give you. Okay. Yeah. I want to make sure because that is something that, like, I sometimes tend to like push things forward. So I was just trying to give you guys some time to like talk and think and negotiate. And I thought what happened was great. And I just waited until there was a long silence before we transitioned forward to you guys getting back. So no, great job, everybody. I hope you're enjoying it. Next session, we will actually pick up. And we can kind of do a little bit of an epilogue of what happens during this this interrogation. I'm not going to like totally cut you off, but I thought that was a nice thematic moment to kind of end today's session. And you know, who wants to take the opening log for next session? Who hasn't gone? I think we've heard from. Is it only been? Wait, who have we not heard from? Willow did one. Lawrence did one.
Yeah.
That's
Aaron,
it.
Aaron, have you done one?
No.
Aaron or Cyprian, who wants to do it?
I can pick it up if you want.
You'll pick it up? Go. Perfect. Cyprian, it's on you, man. So you'll do the opening log for next session. But to our viewers, appreciate you guys stopping in today. Hopefully you had a lot of fun, as much fun as we did. As always, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns from our mech warriors?
Yes, my mech has a broken leg. That's a major concern.
For now. We'll get it fixed. But with that being said, be well, be safe, and as I always say at the end of every session, happy gaming. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.